Hi everybody, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel, Hallmark Plus More, where we watch and talk about shows, movies, mysteries, Hallmark ornaments, and anything else that floats our boat. So today we are going to be live streaming the new Hannah Swensen mystery. It's called A Sprinkle of Deceit, and it's coming on at 9 o'clock. So I'm very excited. Hopefully you guys can watch it with me and we can kind of just figure out the whodunit together. I love this series. I love that everybody's coming back. So we will just have to see. Apparently it happens during a reunion of some sort, like a high school reunion. And from what I understand, Lonnie is one of the detectives who's dating Hannah's sister, Michelle, and I believe he's one of the main suspects. So very exciting. So hopefully you guys are watching with me. It's 9 o'clock. It should be coming on any minute. So I hope you guys are watching. And it looks like it's telling us it's coming on next. So definitely stay with me after so we can kind of let's talk, review, and I'll have my Gen rating. All right, it is starting right now. All right, here we go. Exciting. Let's watch. All right. Who's she texting? Whoa. What's that about? Okay. Sprinkle of deceit. Gotta love those high school reunions, right? Coconut. Good luck, Hannah. I couldn't do that. Oh, looks like she's got it. Beautiful. Looked yummy. Of course. Interesting. Still cracks me if she's a PI. Mm. God, I love Dolores. Hmm? Mm. Okay. A commercial. Michelle got out of it. Oh my gosh, what is... Wow. Oh my goodness, what happened? I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but this is so funny. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, are they calling? Wow. Oh, wow. Oh no, of course Dolores is going to do it. Oh my. Oh dear. Oh, she's loving it, of course. High school reunion. Oh, well, Michelle looks nice with Lonnie. Hmm. Her. Yep. I knew she'd say that. Oh, they're so cute. I love Michelle and Lonnie. He's a cutie. Oh, look at them pictures. So cute. I'm always hungry watching Hannah Swensen mystery movies. Such great food and sweets. Love Lisa. So I'm guessing she's the one that's going to be kicking the bucket, but we will see. I can always kind of tell who's it going to be. So that's my guess. But we shall see. Oh, Lonnie's the one taking her home. Yep, it's definitely her. Because remember, I think he's a suspect. Hear the dogs barking. Now the keys were still in the door. Did you see that? Oh, Lonnie takes the keys. Okay, so I guess he goes in to see if she's okay. Sees the keys. Puts them under the mat. Uh-oh. There's a car. Somebody is seeing him leave and saw that he put the keys in the mat, or in the doggy door. And that was at 12:08 a.m. Oh. Ah! So that's it. He put the keys in the cat door, which he just told Michelle and Hannah. But somebody was in that car, so I'm guessing that was the killer. Ooh. Oh yeah, I saw they were doing rock, paper, scissors, so that was funny. Ah! Wait, he didn't throw him that far in. Maybe. I don't know. It's a little weird. Yeah, we are going into somebody's house. But that's Hannah. So Lonnie said she passed out in seconds, so let's see what happened. Ooh, okay. So we definitely want to talk. However, what they're showing now is a new mystery movie, The Curious Caterer. Totally looking forward to seeing that. Love that series. So that's exciting. That's coming up next week. But anyways, so we definitely want to talk about what's going on now. I had a feeling when I saw Lonnie at the door, dropping her off. As soon as he put the keys through the cat door, I was like, yes, he's going to be the suspect. But we kind of already knew that from the preview, right? So, obviously, I kind of mentioned it right when it happened, but that person in the car where you saw the clock, 12, what was it, 12:08 a.m., obviously, they were watching the house. They saw that he put the key in the cat door, obviously got the key. So the reason why I was saying he didn't throw it in that far is I'm always trying to think ahead, like what is going to be the evidence. So I'm thinking this is crazy bizarre, which probably is just me being foolish, but Hannah had to reach really, really far to grab that key. So I have a feeling they're going to see, like, how long is Lonnie's arm? Like, did he really throw it that far? Because obviously the person in the car would have had to reach into the cat door, grab the keys, unlock the door, kill Darcy, and then lock the car back and throw it back in the cat door, obviously, to frame Lonnie. So there's got to be something there that kind of has evidence that it wasn't Lonnie, because obviously Lonnie is going to be the first suspect. He was the last person to see her besides the killer, obviously. So you probably saw at the beginning I was making notes, because I have noticed anytime we watch a murder mystery, I always like to make notes, jot down names, especially at the beginning of the movie, because typically those are going to be your suspects. I'm always writing things down. So Darcy Hicks, the case, I didn't pick up that she was the same girl from the commercial. I was thinking more of the very first scene when they were in the police station where he was saying, she has an harassment case open from her boss. And I also noticed that her date was Adam. And I guess she was dating Adam. But Adam, keep in mind, if that has anything to do with it or just, something that's a red herring. But he's the one that has the almonds allergy. So I thought it was interesting that the character that has the almonds allergy is the one dating the deceased. So, and then I guess Brian and Casey are married. They're the ones that have the B&B called Princess and P Hotel. So I don't know if they're going to come into play. You know what I mean? Obviously, Lonnie's going to be a suspect, but, we know Lonnie didn't do it, obviously. So we got to think of what other suspects there are. So obviously, they're going to be, picking up on the boss and seeing what his role in here is, obviously, because, he's going to be a number one suspect. But we kind of want to just kind of play everybody out. They're probably going to talk to Adam as well. He was kind of embarrassed. And I'm sure there's somebody in here that they haven't introduced yet, because that's kind of the way these movies kind of roll. Love Hallmark mystery movies, but once you see them, you can kind of get a feel. You're going to have a lot of different red herrings, and it's going to be exciting to see where that goes. And like I said, I know this sounds really crazy and odd, but I feel like when Hannah was reaching in to grab those keys, it was like way further than her arm. Now, obviously, when you throw keys into a cat door, I guess you could throw them in wildly, but I don't think he did. All right, here we go. Let's get back to it. All right. Now, she was in her bedroom, too. That's going to be interesting. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, she was. Okay. So no phone yet. Ooh. Yeah. He's busy, all right. Too close to the case. Uh-oh, here we go. She's in her bedroom, though. Okay, it's gonna be interesting. Yes. Sorry, I love Andrea. Andrea, her other sister. Loved her in the Murder, She Baked movies, so I'm so glad she's there. Love her. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I love her as her sister. I love that she's in this one. Look at Dolores. She's made to act. Mm. Oh my goodness. Oh my Lanta. Wow. Mm-mm. No. True. True. But she was in her bedroom. Remember, Lonnie said it only took a couple seconds for her to be passed out, so that's odd. Ooh, okay. Of course he's married. You have to go by the book, even if you know Lonnie didn't do it. Mm-hmm. Yep. He was the last person to see her alive, besides the killer. Okay. So, that's what we suspected. We kind of knew in the preview that Lonnie was a prime suspect. So, like I say, when we kind of saw that, she was passed out, he kind of looked reluctantly going in the house. I mean, I think anybody would, he's just an old friend from high school. So, but there's got to be some kind of clue there. Obviously, the killer saw, him put the keys in the cat door. But I think there's something there that we're missing. Like I say, when Hannah went to put her hand in to get the keys, it took her a while to, grab it. So, and the other thing, too, that's what I was mentioning earlier, was Lonnie said, yeah, she passed out in seconds. So, I mean, her bedroom obviously isn't right inside the front door. So, my thought is, is it going to come to light that Lonnie, put her down on her couch and was in and out? And then the killer, woke her up and, then was strangled with her pillow in the bedroom? Or is Lonnie going to say, or are we even going to see him, give his side of the story? Because technically we saw what he did. But is he going to say that he took her into the bedroom and lied her down on the bed? Maybe what I'm saying makes no sense, because Lonnie's going to say he took her right to the bedroom. But, I mean, if he was in and out, she passed out in seconds. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. And maybe Lonnie took her to her bedroom. But I'm thinking that has something to play too. She woke up. The killer woke her up. She knew her killer. Because obviously she was suffocated with the pillow over her face. So, I would think if she was passed out, obviously you're going to wake up if somebody's trying to kill you with the pillow. So I don't know. I mean, we don't have a lot to go on at all. So I'm just kind of grasping at straws on the information we were given at this point, because it's so early on. The boss harassing her, that's why I was like, of course he's married, because, I mean, he's already, you already think, how could he be harassing an employee? I mean, you kind of think, I don't want to say, you look down on somebody, because you shouldn't look down on anybody, but you kind of you're harassing employee. Of course you're married, because you're, you're you're kind of like a, I don't want to say a scumbucket or a loser, but you're harassing somebody. Of course you're married, here you are married and harassing some young girl at work. I mean, you don't harass people below. You don't harass anybody. And, so I don't think it was him. I just think, he's married and he's harassing and scaring a girl at work. I think is a terrible person. So obviously they're going to interview him because he's saying he was asleep with his wife. And of course she's going to vouch for that most likely. But that just, I don't know, sums up to his character. I thought he was a sleazeball for harassing his employee, somebody below him anyways. And now that he's married just adds to that scumball character that I have in my head of him. So I don't think it was him. I think that's just, one of those obvious, I don't think he would do anything. Adam having the almonds allergy, I don't know. I saw another mystery movie. I believe it was a Curious Caterer where an allergy came into play, and that kind of helped them solve the murder at the end. So, like I said, that could be nothing. That could just be filling up space. But I do try to write everything down and try to pick up the little pieces. So they're going to interview Adam. It looks like our suspects now are Adam, who she was dating, who kind of got into an argument and left. Left her with no way home. That's why Lonnie had to drive her home. Glenn McCoy, her boss, that was harassing her. And then Brian and Casey at the B&B. I don't think they're suspects, but they were there. All right, here we go. Oh, longer than 5 minutes. Okay. Definitely 5 minutes. Definitely. That's only protocol. That's right. Yes. And that's what you want in these cases when there's a cop as a prime suspect. In real life and in movies. The neighbor. Oh my gosh. Love Andrea. So glad she's back. Loved her in the Murder, She Baked ones. She's just such a great actress, and she works so well with Allison Sweeney as Hannah. So. She knows. Yes. How can a kid say no to cookies? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds yummy. Made it yourself. He sounds like a smart kid. Love him already. Making his own mac and cheese. Nice. I like him already. Uh-oh. Chad's already smiling. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Oh boy. True. Well, Hannah didn't know about the old boss. So the car that said 1208 must have been the orange convertible. What goods? Glenn. Oh my gosh, Dolores cracks me up. Barbara Niven is such a great actress. Glenn's, yep, because he's the boss, he's the owner. Ooh. Okay. Okay. So maybe. So maybe he's not a sleazeball and she made it all up. So, everything that I was telling you about him being a sleazeball, maybe he didn't harass her. Sounds like she's very high maintenance. So her new boyfriend, so is that Adam? Does Adam have the big lifestyle? Hmm. Oh no. Hannah's going on by herself. So her new boyfriend is Adam, so I guess that's why she's going to Adam's house. Because Glenn was saying her new boyfriend and all with the house. So let's see. I would not be doing what she's doing. What are you doing? Okay. All right. So, if what I was saying earlier about the boss was true, then he really is a scumbucket. But according to him, I mean, he was like, look, I wasn't harassing her. She was skimming from the books, overcharging customers and pocketing it. And then he said something about the house with her new boyfriend. So obviously we're going to assume that's Adam, but maybe she's got somebody else on the side that we don't know about. You know, we haven't even gotten to an hour of the movie yet, so there could always be some last minute suspects that aren't on our radar yet. So just because she was with Adam at the reunion doesn't necessarily mean that's the boyfriend Glenn McCoy was talking about. Because what I find interesting is he didn't say Adam. He just said her new boyfriend. So we don't want to jump to conclusions. So, I mean, there definitely could be another person in the mix, and we all just assume Adam. That's why Hannah's at Adam's place. He looks like he's going to hit her with the bat, but he could just be protective because somebody's on his property. So, I mean, that's going to be interesting. If she's the same girl from the commercial and she was all like high maintenance and all kind of, I don't know, prissy and kind of bratty, then maybe what Glenn said is true. Maybe, he had to fire her for that reason. Now, what he said the cops said that he was sending her text messages. He denies it. So, I mean, I tend to believe him. He could still be, the terrible person that's harassing his employee while he's married and sleeping with his wife. But for some reason, I tend to believe him. I believe that he's saying he didn't send the text messages because I'm not getting that, how do I say this? I'm not getting that creepy vibe from him. So I'm tending to, at least for right now, 47 minutes into the movie, I'm saying I believe him that he wasn't sending the text messages. So let's go down that little rabbit hole for a minute. If he wasn't the one sending the text messages, then that means somebody was, but they wanted to make it look like it was Glenn McCoy. So now we're kind of unraveling another kind of like avenue of, okay, well, this is pretty elaborate then. Somebody is sending text messages, pretending to be Glenn or making it show that it's coming from Glenn when it wasn't. And Glenn is saying that he fired her for, overcharging customers and pocketing, which would make some sense because she looks like she's very high profile, high maintenance, very glamorous, and she has to have all expensive designer things, the big house, the outfit. So, I mean, it's definitely interesting. If that's the case, then we're looking at an elaborate scheme then. I think what we want to look at next is, are they going to be able to prove that she was overcharging the customers and pocketing it? Because I think that's going to make Glenn's kind of description, not alibi, because his alibi is with his wife, but if they can prove that she was overcharging customers and pocketing it, then they can kind of make him credible, make his conversation with Hannah more believable. Like, okay, we have proof that Glenn was telling the truth, that he fired her because she was overcharging customers and pocketing it to have her high style, her high lifestyle, her expensive lifestyle. So if they can prove that, then I am more likely to believe that he wasn't harassing her. Let's see. See, I don't think he was trying to hurt her. He was just defending his property. Scare you, that's what I thought. Sure. So they fought a lot. What does everybody think? Oh, of course. True. Mm. That's true. Maybe it wasn't the killer, but uh-oh. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. If that's credible, right? Yeah. Right? I tend to believe him though. Don't think it's him. Don't think it's Glenn. Hampton case. Hmm. Yeah, but it seems like a frame job or a setup. Hmm. Candles. Maybe there was a light next to the orange convertible and it wasn't orange, it was a different color. Hmm. Oh no, what's that? Oh dear. Oh no. Oh, I love Andrea. Andrea, whenever she's at it. just like they did in high school. So did they knew it would be Lonnie. Just like they did in high school. So did they know? True. Still innocent. Rock, paper, scissors, just like they did in high school. Just like they did in high school. Was this a setup to frame Lonnie? If they did rock, paper, scissors like they did in high school, maybe he knows what they always do. I don't know. That's just me picking up tidbits of information. But I noticed he said, oh, just like we always did in high school. And they were kind of joking around when I saw them do it, because you kind of saw them in the movie early on when they were actually playing rock, scissors, rock, paper, scissors. So maybe, maybe it was premeditated. Maybe they're like, we're going to do rock, paper, scissors. Lonnie always does paper or whatever. And it was kind of a setup for him. I don't know. I don't know why Lonnie wouldn't tell Michelle that they dated, because I really like Lonnie and Michelle together. I think they're a great couple. And they seem pretty open with each other. So, especially since it was a long time ago, I guess that's probably just one of those side stories, kind of like a side conflict just to throw into the movie, because I don't think it has to do with anything. Obviously, Lonnie didn't do it. But I hope they clear it up, because I kind of like Lonnie with Michelle. I think, especially when him and Michelle flirted in the very first movie that she came on to. That was so cute when Michelle was talking to Hannah and Lonnie was there. So I'm glad that they're a couple. I think they're cute together. So I think this is just some kind of side story to keep the drama and conflict going. So I'm sure by the end of the movie they'll patch it up, because they're a cute couple. But so right now, the reason why I said light was they were talking about the lighting when they were at dinner. Maybe the orange convertible was under a street light, and maybe it really wasn't orange. Maybe it was blue, or maybe it was gray, and it just looked orange under a street lamp. Because with light bulbs you can get LED, which look more white, or you can get like old fluorescents, and they're more like yellow. And it can kind of change your lighting. So if it's midnight and there's one or two street lights or street posts on the block, maybe when he looked out, he was near a street lamp, and it changed the color of the car. So maybe it wasn't orange, maybe it was a different color. Because Dolores said she has a convertible, and she says people that drive convertibles know people that drive convertibles, Dolores is high maintenance. So maybe that comes into play. Maybe, he's drawing orange, but maybe it was more yellow, or maybe it was a different color because of the street lamp. There's got to be a curve in the story somehow, because first off, can we just talk about how adorable that 10-year-old boy is? I love that. I have my own recipe. He's 10 and he makes his own mac and cheese. Love him. But it seems like, I know kids aren't always reliable, but he drew it. He knew the shape of it. I'm just thinking maybe the color is a little off. But we will wait and see. There's obviously some aspect we're not looking at, but I really want them to try to prove, or at least look into, her overcharging customers, because I think that's going to be, if they can prove that she really was overcharging customers, then Glenn had a legitimate reason to fire her, and there was no harassment. Not necessarily. He could still have fired her for the money, and he could still have been harassing her, but I didn't get that sleazeball feel from him when Hannah talked to him in the auto shop. I didn't feel that, didn't get that vibe, didn't get that from him. So before I met him, I obviously was believing everything, like, oh yeah, he's definitely, creepy and terrible. But now, after seeing that, I'm not so sure. Let's see what happens. Oh, good. There's Lonnie. He got out. So he did bring her to her bedroom. Okay. So he did bring her to her bedroom, which answers my earlier question. Yeah. Oh, makeup. You guys are such a cute couple. Come on. Oh my goodness. Oh my. All right, so they didn't find out. No orange. Opera glasses. So funny. Right? Me too. Me too, but I still want to prove that. Like Andrew wants to do that. So I believe the boss. I don't think he was really harassing her, so I feel bad calling him kind of like sleazy. But I want to prove that he was saying it about Darcy. Maybe he was just lying. But it's too obvious that it'd be him. And who's B? Do you notice that when Lonnie said he put her phone on the charger, it rang and it looked like B? All right. I want to believe Glenn too. So obviously, before we had the interview with the boss who had the case against her, obviously I assumed he was sleazy and he's married and he's harassing an employee. But now he has his own story. I tend to believe his story, but I keep saying it. As much as I want to believe his story, they need to give me some proof that his story is true, which means they have to find some proof that she was overcharging customers and taking the extra money. Because that is definitely fireable. I mean, you can't do that. So I kind of understand why he didn't go to the police and why he just fired her, because you don't want that with your business. If you can handle it internally, I get that. I just didn't. I don't know. It's weird. I just didn't get that creepy harassment vibe from him. But that doesn't mean that he didn't do it. I just think it's too obvious. The suspect they tell you about in the first scene with the whole case of Darcy Hicks against the boss, I just don't think it's him. It's too obvious. It's like always picking the spouse. It can't always be the spouse. They just want you to think that. So I'm really steering away from Glenn. What you guys are thinking, what it could possibly be. Definitely feel like it's interesting to kind of see what it could be, for sure. So, but yeah, I'm kind of wanting to see what the next suspects are. I thought it was interesting, you know what I mean, when Brian, which I guess is married to Casey, they never really said, but they own the B&B together. He was like, oh, you're heating things. So I guess he doesn't, for owning a B&B, you would think he would know what they were called. So I thought that was odd. You know what I mean? Oh, here's your heating things. That's what you're picking up. I was like, why is it calling your hot things or your heating things? Like, why isn't he calling it by what it's called? If he owns a B&B, you would think he would know the literal term of catering supplies. So I thought that was a little odd. And he's the one who was really big on, well, they argue all the time about everything. And then Case was like, yeah, we did rock, paper, scissors like we always do in college or in high school. So I don't know why, and I'm probably completely wrong, but I'm getting a vibe from Brian. I'm just getting a vibe. I don't know. Maybe Brian is, seeing her behind Casey's back. I don't know. If it tells you they always do rock, paper, scissors, I feel like Brian knew what Lana was going to pick. He knew what he was going to pick. Because when you play, at least when you're younger, rock, paper, scissors, most of the time you play the same thing, at least first. It's just an instinct. So, and then he was really big on him arguing so much with Adam. So I feel like he's trying to like either throw it on Adam or throw it on Lonnie. Like, how do you know Lonnie was innocent? So I don't know. My gut is telling me there's something off about Brian, and my gut is telling me that it's not Glenn, the boss. That's just, the obvious answer. I believe that he wasn't texting her. And when he was asking about the convertible, it wasn't like a light bulb in his head. Like, he was literally just telling him why he doesn't like convertibles. If you ask somebody about convertibles and they were there or they have an orange convertible, you would think they'd be like, oh, why do you want to know about convertibles? And he just rattled off, well, you don't want to do this and you don't want to have this. And it was just kind of like just talking to somebody. So he didn't seem rattled or frazzled or anything when she mentioned the convertible. So I have a tendency to believe Glenn. So me personally, I'm writing off Glenn as the suspect. And for some reason, until they give more suspects, I'm thinking Brian. Now I know the way mysteries work with Hallmark is a lot of times you have to pick the who, and then at the end, at the who done it, they'll tell you why. So maybe we won't know why yet. Oh, so what's in the note that she found? Maybe it's proof that she was overcharging. Of course she didn't. Of course you do. Oh. Almond flour, which means it wouldn't be for Adam. Is highly allergic. B for Brian on the phone. Ah. Ah. Who? Possibly. Well, if she was having an affair, remember Lonnie, when he put the phone on the phone charger, it beeped B. So maybe B for Brian. Ooh. Reasonable doubt. Right. But B, remember Lonnie put the phone on the hook and it was B, so she's having an affair. But I'm thinking it's Brian. No. Don't. Nope. Nope. Don't see it. It was her type. What? Oh no. Oh no. Oh my goodness, no. Okay. Okay, Dolores. Oh dear. What is she doing? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, look at Dolores. Oh my Lanta. Oh my goodness. Okay. Mm. Yeah, how did Brian even? I guess he just assumed. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think he's the type. Right. Mm. Yeah, no, I agree with what I initially thought with Hannah. Before the interview, I thought he was creepy and a sleazeball. Now, I don't think he did it. But good job, Dolores. Look at the text. Look at the text. See if she said any text. Oh, I guess it can't. No pictures of a convertible, though. I don't think Glenn did it. And I don't think he was harassing her. So I think Glenn's off the hook. Yeah. Ooh, chat said that. All right. Well, so my initial reaction was that even though Glenn didn't do it, I never thought Glenn did it, because they kind of mentioned that case very early on, in the movie. But obviously, I thought from what they were talking about that he was kind of creepy and kind of, a terrible person. Now that I've met, saw the interview with Hannah, definitely don't think he was harassing her at all. I believe his 100%. Now with Dolores trying to play Cleopatra, her role, and try to flirt her way in, he obviously didn't take it. So it just speaks to he really didn't harass her. So it makes me believe she did do it to get that extra money to kind of keep that high profile, expensive lifestyle she had. So why was she suing him for harassment? Was it to get a settlement? Was it to get more money? We don't really know, but I have a tendency to believe Glenn. So that being said, he's probably not going to be shown again. Going back to the orange convertible, I just feel like, not that it's a red herring. It could have been. The killer could have been walking. This could be a total red herring, because I've seen that happen in other Hallmark movies specifically. But I think it has something to do with the lighting. It wasn't really orange. But he colored it orange because of the street light. It changed the color. It was the middle of the night. That's initially my guess, because children can see things that they didn't really see, but I have a tendency to believe this 10-year-old boy, so there's got to be something with what he actually said. So basically, I'm telling you, I can't explain it. I got a gut feeling about Brian. When they replayed what Lonnie did, first off, I said, Lonnie said he was only in there for a couple seconds, or she passed out after a couple seconds. So then I was, kind of thinking, well, he didn't get her to the bedroom then. But if he was in there between 5 to 7 minutes, he could have. And then obviously when you saw the reenactment with Lonnie, he did put her in her bed. So she died in her bed. That's where Lonnie put her. So the killer didn't move her or anything. So killer could have been a woman, because he didn't have to be lifting her heavy or anything. But she died where Lonnie put her. However, they took the phone. So my first thought when I saw that was like, why? And Lonnie even said it beeped, and then I saw, oh, that's her phone. It's probably dying. Here's the charger. So I think it kind of beeping, saying there was a phone call or a text message, made Lonnie think, let me put it on the charger. When he put it on the charger, that's when he saw it. And it was a B, the letter B, as in Brian. So there's something that's telling me it's Brian. If he owns a B&B, B&Bs make breakfast, right? That is bed and breakfast. That's what the B&B stands for. And then when he gives the stuff back to Hannah, he goes, here's your heating things. Like, how do you not know what they're called? So I thought that was odd. And then he's quick to say they were fighting about everything. And then Casey told Hannah, well, you heard the same thing I heard. I don't know what they were fighting about. So whether Adam knows that she was having an affair or not, maybe Brian was the one that she had an affair with when she was in high school and was dating Lonnie. Who knows? They don't really say who that was, just that she was having an affair, and it really, hurt Lonnie, as I would think it would hurt anybody. If you're in high school and a boy or girlfriend cheats on you, it's kind of hard to take, because you're young, and it could be just your first or second boyfriend, and it's always terrible if somebody cheats on you and you find out about it. So there's no telling on whether Brian was that person, but if I have to pick somebody, we still have 30 minutes left. If I have to pick a suspect that I believe, based on the people right now, I dismiss Glenn. I dismiss Lonnie, obviously. We know Lonnie didn't do it. I kind of dismiss Adam. It could have been Adam, but I dismiss him. I'm thinking Brian. Let's see. I'm either really good or I'm a fool. We're going to find out which one. Let's see. Let's get back to it. What does he want to tell Hannah? Of course. Mm-hmm. She's a hard worker. Mm-hmm. True. That's right. One, 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 one is too simple. For money. Mm-hmm. True. I'm sure they probably did. Well, I know Brian did. If he did it, he's deflecting. So, Brian told him about the fight just like he told Michelle and Hannah. They fight about everything. Hmm. True. Mm-hmm. That's so true. Up and downs. Right. Lisa cleaned up the glass. Oh, that's true. I did hear that. Yeah, I don't think it was Adam. I'm telling you, I think it's B. I think it's Brian. I think he had an affair with her. Not Glenn. Not Lonnie. I don't think the director. She bought her dress. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I bet it's gonna be hideous. Oh no. Mm. Wonder what she's baking. Makes me hungry. Telling ya, I'm going back to Brian. And like I said, I could be a fool, but I don't think it's Adam. I agree. We even saw when they were arguing earlier, he was like, I think you've had enough. And he just seemed concerned. So yes, he left her at the party, but he even said himself, she was with friends. I knew she'd have a ride home. So I don't think it's Adam. I just don't. Definitely don't think it's Glenn, especially, 1111. Whose password to their phone is 1111? And he just doesn't seem tech savvy to me. And why would you harass your employee after you fire her? You would harass her before you'd fire her. Not that I'm condoning that at all. You should never harass anybody. But at first, before we saw Glenn, I thought maybe. Now, definitely not. So really, we're down to who? We're down to the only other people we saw. If I'm saying no to Glenn, the boss, if I'm saying no to Adam, the so-called boyfriend, obviously not Lonnie. The only other people, we're looking at is Brian and Cassie, who own the B&B, unless it's somebody that we don't know. If it's somebody that hasn't come into play. Another person she's seeing, which I think is Brian, and I think it was Brian. I don't know if this orange convertible is a red herring. Even Hannah joked, maybe it's a red herring. Maybe it is. Maybe Brian walked on foot. Maybe he rented a car. Maybe it wasn't orange. Maybe it was a different color and the street lamp changed it. I think there's a couple of these things that fall into play. The other thing too, I wrote down the Hampter case. That's the case that he's working on. So I thought that was interesting, unless they're setting it up for the next movie, because I know some of Hallmark mystery movies have done that. Mystery 101, if everybody's ever heard of that, it's no longer, they no longer have that, but Jill Ragnar and Cameron Matherson were in that one, and they did set it up. Since it was a series, they would talk about one case, and then the next Mystery 101 would kind of talk about the case they mentioned in the other movie. So he mentioned Hampter case. I don't know if that's going to be significant. Maybe that'll come into play in the next case or the next movie, or maybe it has nothing to do with nothing. But like I say, I try to write everything down because I want to kind of go back through. So I feel like the only people left on the suspect list, if you eliminate Adam, which I have, if you've eliminated Glenn, which I have, I'm going towards Brian. That B on the phone, when he put it on the charger, that's him. That's why he took the phone. He needed to erase his messages. And maybe he's more tech savvy and he's setting up this link between, Glenn and Darcy to set that up. Because again, if he owns a B&B, why isn't he calling those heating thingies? Oh, you're looking for your heating thingies. I mean, they make breakfast. That's what a B&B is, bed and breakfast. So I don't know. A lot of stuff up in the air. We still got about 20 minutes left. So still plenty of time for them to arrest the wrong person, and in the last 10 minutes of the show we find out who the real one is. But maybe Brian and Casey are in it together, but I'm not getting the vibe from Casey. Definitely getting the vibe from Brian. So not sure exactly what the motive is. I mean, he could have been, like I said, he could have been the one that Darcy cheated on when she was dating Lonnie back in high school, or that could have just been somebody completely different, and maybe he's just starting something up new with her now. They never necessarily said Brian and Casey were married. They just said they have the B&B together. But I think that's assumed. If they're not married, they're definitely together. So that's my gut. That's what I'm going on. Stay with me. We will finish watching. We will do a review. I'll do my gen rating. And we will see if I'm completely wrong or if I'm picking the right person. So it's exciting to see what's going on. Hopefully you guys are right there with me. Let's see. I feel like a light bulb's going on with Hannah. Told you! Knew it! The street lamp. See, she's looking in. She's seeing the light from the oven. I'm telling you, the street lamp changed the color of the car. I'm telling you. Knew it. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Such a smart little kid. Love him. It's going to be under a street lamp. Told ya. Under the orange light. So it was a white convertible. I knew it. Thank you. I said that. I knew it. I knew the color of the street lamp changed it. Then orange. I knew it. I knew something was up. And I knew it wasn't Joe's fault because he's a very bright kid. So I knew he wasn't lying. But he was under a street lamp, which was orange, which changed the color of the car. I knew it. There it is with the black hood. Now they're going to see if that's the director's car. I forgot about that. Could have been the director's car. Could be the director's car. I think that's what they're leaning you towards. So I called that. Now I forgot there was one more suspect, the director. I just don't think it's the director. We don't have enough information about him. So I guess it's possible. We're going to see the director right now get into it. You watch. The director's going to come out and get into the car while Hannah tries to take a picture. I just have this feeling. Now it's gone. There it is. Turn around. You can't get it. But I'm assuming that's what they're going to find out. The last suspect that I forgot to mention in the commercial break was the director. We just don't have a clear motive for him quite yet, just because she said she might sue him. Kind of premature to kill her over that if she didn't do anything yet. But then again, we find out the motives usually after the fact in Hallmark, so they don't give too much away. So obviously she's following whoever's in that convertible. But again, just because the car was there doesn't necessarily mean it was a killer. But if it wasn't, at least they saw something and they're not talking. So let's see. Where are they going? Ooh. All right, Hannah, this isn't safe. Stay in your car, Hannah. Oh, Hannah, please, no. Don't go down this long driveway. Oh, please. For the love of goodness, Hannah, please don't do it. Oh, Hannah. Come on, girl. Of course you leave your phone in the car, because why wouldn't you bring it with you? Oh, my Lanta. Here we go, Hannah, getting in trouble. And it's going to be the directors. I already know this. Go ahead and pop it up on your computer. We know it's the director. Or maybe Brian. Maybe I'm right. Either way, this is not good, Hannah. Hannah, this is not good. What are you doing? It's like when you see them in a horror movie go down the alleyway. You know somebody's behind them. Oh, it's somebody's house. What the heck? Hannah? What the heck, Hannah? Okay, first off, I get goosebumps when I see that because, I mean, all of a sudden it wasn't that dark when she was driving. Now it's dark. She's away from her car. She's away from her phone. She's in somebody's driveway, which means she's on, private property. I just don't know why she just didn't sit back, call Chad, and be like, hey, this is the address. Come check it out. But of course, it's Hannah Swensen. Of course she goes into a dangerous situation. And of course she doesn't bring her phone. So this is what I'm thinking. It's either going to be Brian or it's going to be the director. We still have 15 minutes left, so I'm guessing it's the director. I'm guessing they're going to arrest him, and then they're going to find out he didn't do it, and it's going to be linked back to Brian. That is it. I am calling it. I guess we will see if I'm crazy or if I'm just foolish and if I'm wrong. Now, granted, it could be the director. At this point, the two people that they haven't really, given direct motive to. So there is definitely a possibility it could be the director. Because again, like I say, we don't really know his motive. But the way Hallmark mysteries have been going lately, they don't really give you the motive until after you pick the person. So we don't have to know the motive. And that's why I'm kind of feeling Brian. I got that vibe from him. Just like I got the vibe from Glenn that he didn't harass her, right? So we will definitely have to wait and find out. I'd love to see who you think it is. I mean, there's only a couple people. Obviously, if it's in one of the parking lots, remember Dolores staked out the parking lots from the cast and crew, like the directors and the cast parking lot. So that's why I was originally thinking the director, because when Dolores says, "Oh, I remember seeing that one of the parking lots," remember she was stalking out the parking lots of the director and of all the parking lots around town with the commercial. So that is why I am starting out saying I think it's the director's car. However, I don't know. I just don't feel. I mean, yes, they're saying the director has a motive because Darcy said she was going to sue him, but she didn't actually do it. I don't see a director who obviously disagrees with actors and actresses. I mean, let's face it, it's, Hollywood-ish, and I don't see a director flipping out and killing somebody over whether they may or may not sue them just because they said it. Because let's face it, this is 2024. Everybody says they're going to sue everybody, and they don't always do it. Sometimes we just say stuff out of anger. Obviously, Darcy was upset. I just don't think that's motive enough to do it. Now, still doesn't mean that the director didn't do it, and there's a motive that they haven't told us about yet. That is always a possibility because you find out the motive at the end. At least the new mysteries are kind of going in that direction. But I'm still telling you, I'm feeling Brian. I'm feeling like that. When Lonnie put the phone on the phone charger, it beeped and it had the letter B on it. B for Brian. That's just my gut. I'm not really sure why, except to say he's in this relationship with Casey, whether they're married or not. They never really said, but they're definitely together since they own and run a B&B. So that's what I'm getting at. That's my gut. But I'm thinking this is definitely the director's house. He's going to catch Hannah snooping on private property, and then Chad or one of the police officers gonna save her, and they're gonna bring him in as a suspect. And I just think that that's when it's gonna turn in Hannah's head. She's gonna rethink everything with Brian, and that's what's gonna come through. But I could be completely wrong. This is why I love mysteries, because you nitpick and you analyze everything, and some stuff makes no difference and some stuff does. So it's really just a matter of picking out what's a red herring and what's important. So definitely think it's interesting. I'm really enjoying the movie. I hope you are too. So if you want to stick around, there's only about 10 minutes left, so maybe there's not enough time to arrest the director, release him, and then find out it was Brian. So we'll see what happens. Here we go. Oh no, it is Brian. It's not the director's house, it's Brian. Yes, and that's who I think did it. So, or maybe they're going to arrest Brian and find out it was a director, but remember, my gut is telling me Brian. Oh, it was Casey. Unless they did it together. Oh. I wouldn't have guessed Case. So it wasn't Brian. Uh-oh. Knew it. They were together. Fair with Brian. See, that I was right about. I was right about that. I was right about that. I knew it. Knew they were having an affair. So I wouldn't have guessed Casey. I mean, I knew the Brian affair thing. Because Glenn told her about the alarm. All right, well done, Hallmark. I wasn't suspecting Casey. I thought Casey knew about the affair because I was thinking she wasn't that close with Brian, like they weren't connected. But I wouldn't have guessed Casey as the killer. But again, I was right. You don't know the motive until the very end. All right, well done. I wasn't guessing Casey. I was guessing Brian. So I knew the Brian and Darcy affair thing was there. B for Brian. So they were married. I mean, that is more of a... It'd be easier for a woman to do it, but I was so stuck on it might being Brian at the end that I didn't suspect Cass. So well done. If you knew it was Cass, you got one. Well done. Shame on me for not guessing Cassie. Mm-hmm. Sure. Oh, there's Lonnie. So, of course. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lonnie, make things right. You're so cute with Michelle. I love it. Such a cute couple. He's a cutie. The sleeper. Oh, yeah, her play. Oh, what are they wearing? I can't wait. Oh, Dolores with her fashion sense. All right, Andrea, what are you wearing? Of course she did. It's Dolores. All right, where's Andrea in her dress? Oh my gosh, look at Andrea's dress. my goodness. Oh my gosh, I know she just didn't wave. That's so Dolores. Wow. Okay, Lonnie, make up with Michelle. Aww. They're such a cute couple. Oh. Oh, okay. Of course. All right. Okay, can we just talk briefly about next Friday? Totally looking forward to this. I love Curious Cater. It's called Forbidden Fruit, and that is all new next Friday. So I am super excited, looking forward to that. So definitely hang tight with me, for next week. We can talk about that. And just give me a moment, just a couple seconds, and we'll come back and we will definitely talk. We have a lot to talk about for sure.